Hello, I'm Pete White, Councilman for Ward 4 from Oklahoma City, and I have a special guest today. His name is Isiah Caldwell. He's my youth counselor from, every year we have two young people from Oklahoma City high schools in the metropolitan area shadow the council, and he's one of mine for this year. The other one wasn't able to be here today, but so I wanted to introduce everyone to Isiah and welcome him. This has been going on for several months now. You've been a youth counselor.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you go to school.
Okay, so yeah, I'm Isiah Caldwell. I go to Crooked Oak High School. I moved around a lot in Oklahoma City. I didn't live in Ward 4 my entire life. I lived on the east side, on the north side for a while, and I was on the south side for a minute too, and I went to Capitol Hill, and then I lived in that district.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you've been to several high schools in Oklahoma City, or schools in Oklahoma City.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Crooked Oak has always been an important part. The Crooked Oak School District has always been an important part of Oklahoma City for a long, long time.
Yeah.
They're the Roughnecks.
Yeah.
And you played football, as I understand.
Yeah,
is that right?
Played football.
And and you're the first person from Crooked Oak to ever be a youth counselor, I understand. Is that right?
Yeah, a lot of people didn't even know about the program,
right.
Administrators and things like that, and I told them about it, and they're pretty amazed.
Well, I'm really pleased to have you, and I'm pleased because a lot of the area, and especially the area that I formerly represented, the district, the ward has been reformed since I've been on the council. When I first was on the ward, about all of the Crooked Oak district that was in Oklahoma City was in my ward. That's not true now. Some of it is in Ward 7 now. But so I've represented that area off and on for a long, long time, and I know a lot of the challenges that are there. You work, I understand. You have to have a job. Do you tell me where you work?
I work at Target. I worked there for a year. It'll be a year about this week. One of my first days was Black Friday. I remember that.
Oh,
so
that'd be a memorable beginning.
Again.
I would think. Yeah, my grandson works there. He's in college, and he works there at a Target and more. Oh, that's cool. But we just lost the Target in Ward 4. There was a big Target store at 44th.
Yeah, I remember.
Is that where you worked?
No, that one I thought about applying to, but whenever I was applying, I didn't really see anyone outside that Target ever, so I figured something like that might happen.
Right.
But yeah, a lot of the people from that Target did switch over to my Target now, so.
Right. Where do you work?
It's off North May. I want to say like 51st maybe.
Right. Well, tell us a little bit about your activities at school. What things you're involved in at Crooked Oak?
Yeah, I took a sociology class. A professor from OU comes down, Professor Paul Ketchum. He started teaching sociology there last year, and this year that class went into social problems, and that's just been a really interesting class. It's really got me interested in what I'm going to be doing during college. Maybe I'll study something like that.
Right.
That'd be pretty cool.
One of the really nice things about the Youth Council program is the assistance that we're able to provide young people that graduate in the program. If they want to go to college, we can generally find a way, scholarships or aid of some kind to get them to go to college. You have any idea now where you plan to go to school, or don't have much more time left to figure it out?
Yeah, that's the thing. So I was thinking about where I wanted to go to college, and there are so many places that I still want to go. It's going to be based on where I get accepted, basically. And so I basically applied to most of the top universities just to see. I'll see how that goes. If nothing else, I shouldn't say if nothing else. OU's pretty good.
Right.
And I got accepted there, so that'd be pretty fun to go there.
Right.
But I do really want to see the rest of the world. Right. So,
well, a lot of people, have different views about how to do that, and when to do it. I like the idea of young people staying in school in Oklahoma because from an historical perspective, Oklahoma has lost so many young people that went off to school at some other school, Vanderbilt or Duke or Florida or Missouri or anywhere else, and then they haven't come back to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And we need an educated populace to make this state a better place, and so I hate to see people not come back, but a lot of people do come back.
Yeah.
A lot of people do. Can you talk a little bit about something or that has impressed you as being a youth counselor, about something that you've done or some place you went as a youth counselor?
Yeah. First, I want to touch on the last point. I do plan on coming back to Oklahoma because my girlfriend wants to be a teacher at Crooked Oak, so it looks
we
like
need to hang on to her. We need all the teachers.
Yeah.
I'm real involved in another program that she might find interesting, is that we're trying really hard to train teachers that want to teach in inner city schools. It's difficult. You go to an inner city school, that school's probably different than a kid that's going to school at Wagner or Ellick or Davis, someplace like that. And so we need young people that have come out of the inner cities to go back into it and help work, because there's a certain culture shock for people that have not been in the system and then come back into it. So that's good to hear. I like that.
Yeah, I'd say it's also a culture shock to the students too. They can't really relate to the teachers, and that's definitely one of the main problems at Crooked Oak.
Yeah, that's true. No, it's both. It cuts both ways. It certainly does. But I'm a firm believer that if we could take inner city people that are interested in teaching and train them, and then bring them back to teach in the inner city, it would cut that down. They know what the inner city kids need. They know what they're getting and what they're not getting. Having been through that process themselves, I just think it's got a lot of possibilities. We're working on a program with Oklahoma City Public Schools and with the health department and the library system and all that at a situation out at Southern Oaks that is really at its core is designed to make people healthier and also give people a boost in education. So, tell me a little bit. I asked you before about things you've done as a youth counselor. You've got.
So, in our last meeting, we went to the police training grounds and the fire training grounds, and that was pretty cool. We got to ride in the fire engine thing, going to the top.
Right.
Never did that before.
Right.
It's really cool because you just get a chance to see like a lot of things you don't normally, you see all the time, but I'm never really going to go into one of those unless I'm getting saved from a burning building or something.
Right.
It's just really cool to see. We saw the Jaws of Life. We got to use that.
Right.
That was pretty fun. In Ward 4, we went a couple different places. Went to the landfill. Not at all what I expected it to be. I thought it was just going to be trash piles on top of trash, but apparently there's an entire science to that, and that was pretty cool to learn about.
It's run by engineers, and I always like to make sure, as we talked earlier today, that I always like to make sure that our young people see that trash fill, because I think it makes an impression on you. What happens to the stuff we throw away has to be put somewhere, and one of the challenges for your generation is going to be figuring out a better way to do it than my generation's figured out. We just can't keep doing it. We just can't keep burying it. We're going to run out of space, and it's going to become more and more costly. Well, where else did you go in Ward 4 besides the landfill?
Ward 4... Capitol Hill was inside Ward 4, so we went around to the Capitol Hill.
Okay, you had lunch at the Grill on the Hill?
Yeah, and we learned how that used to be the downtown of this area before.
Right.
There's a split south and north Oklahoma City. We learned about all that. He talked about that. Right. That was pretty cool, because I never knew anything about that. I never knew about the river being a dividing line between the city. And I never knew, because that part of Oklahoma City really just always looked empty to me, so I assumed it was always empty. But to learn that people actually used to be excited to go there, and that they have plans to make it that way again, that was pretty cool.
Well, it's done a lot to revitalize itself.
Yeah.
And my favorite place to eat's Grill on the Hill. I eat there every chance I get.
Yeah.
Well, if you've got something to add to wind it up, when reporters ask me that question, I never answer it, so I don't expect you to answer it. Unless you have something else you want to say. It's about we got to wind it up, so you got anything else you want to add? Say hello to your mom or something?
Yeah, I guess I could say hello to everyone that knows me.
Okay.
And youth council is pretty fun. I advise it to anyone. sign up for it if you're in high school. It's really fun. You learn a lot.
Well, thanks. Well, I've certainly enjoyed having you, and I appreciate all the comments you made, and I get good feedback from the staff upstairs about that you're involved and interested and show up and all those kind of things. So I appreciate it. Anyway, thank you. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you.
That's it. We're going to wrap it up today. Isaiah is a great example of the youth of Oklahoma City, and I appreciate the fact he was here today, and I know that life holds good things for him. He's doing a good job. Thank you.